Today is January 1st, the beginning of a new year, and as most people know, I have a large ranch here near Mayapan in the Yucatan, and I've been carving some lots out of it for other like-minded people who want to have a off-grid lifestyle, 100% solar, and a slower lifestyle like you'd find in the Pueblo. I've been asked by some people who are interested in the remaining 4 lots that I have left that are each about 6 hectares or, let's see, 15 acres in size. What do they look like? And so, since today's the 1st and everybody's off today, I thought this would be a good chance to show a progress video to show how the land can be transformed from jungle, like you see here. Pardon me, I had a little bee on my wrist. From just a virgin jungle like this that's probably not been walked on by man for, who knows, 100 years, 200 years, to what I have today. So on September 27th, I started with something that looked just like this, just like the remaining 4 lots. I started right here at this spot. Here's my road coming into the lots that I've built. And I looked in this direction, and in the distance there, let's see here, you can see the tall trees in the background. I could see those tall trees. And so I had my helpers take off in this direction. I got my compass, and this is due north. And I had them go through here and clear a path about 3 meters wide. And I just said, go in this direction. And they took off. Let's see, I'm trying to think. We had 5 guys, and then we added 3 more. So a total of 8. 7 of them with machetes, 1 of them with my chainsaw. And they started blazing a trail through here. And as they went, I was able to see more of the land and point them in different directions and say, go here, make this wider, clear this area, and so on. And so what I'm going to show you right now is what's happened in, let's see, 95 days. Because 95 days ago, it looked like this. And today, I've not only cleared my place for a house, but I have the house under construction. And so you can see straight ahead, I've got the road, the driveway to the house going more or less toward where I decided to build the house. And I'm just going to walk along and show you how this has become transformed. So you have to have an elevated place for the house. Once we got back in there, I found that. And I also knew that it needed to be large enough that I could orient the house facing to the south. One for sun, where the sun is, and also because I wanted my front porch to be oriented east and west so it would catch a breeze all afternoon. So the ground is not level, it's rolling, it's rocky, some of it's got a lot of dirt, some of it not so much dirt. And what I've begun doing is building some little retaining walls here to level some areas up. And besides building my home site, I'm also landscaping at the same time. So here we are, clearing back a little bit of a buffer next to the lot that we're clearing. But you can see a little bit farther back there, we've just left that virgin right now. I don't know what I'll do in the future. Right now, this is a driveway coming into the house, which will be graveled and made to be all weather. Right now it's just dirt. As we go along, sometimes we find bigger rocks and sometimes not so big rocks. Well, the big rocks are valuable. They're important in building walls because they're large, they're heavy. You can use these for making the bottom part of your wall, and then you use the small rocks to go in on top. Well, as we got back here, I had one little mound here that wasn't big enough for a house, and at the same time it was just kind of stuck up like a sore thumb. So I built a little wall around this so I can level it off. I'll put dirt in on top of it, put some banana trees, probably a couple of palm trees, and then ivy over the bottom of it. It'll be pretty and green and nice. Over here to the left of it, in this clearing, I'm going to plant some posts to grow dragon fruit plants. So here's a continuation of my driveway. Sorry if the camera's not perfectly level, because I'm walking over some uneven ground and trying to hold the camera at the same time. So there's my house. Let's see, we're on day 25, the construction of that. Once we got back here to this point, I realized this was where I wanted a house. Had lots of nice trees that give shade in the afternoon. Had this nice elevated place here above me that was big enough for a house. So we cleared that off for the house. It's 14 meters wide and 12 meters deep, including the porch. They'll have nice trees all the way around it. Some midday sun, but morning shade and afternoon shade. This is all my construction gravel you see here. And my sand back in the distance there. You can see my solar panel array. I didn't want that to be right next to the house because I wanted to keep a lot of trees around it. So it's about 50 meters away from the back corner of the house. There'll be 36 panels back there. I've got 12 of them installed right now. And then there was another mound right back here, right back there. Again, it wasn't big enough to build a house on, nor was it a place I wanted a house. It also wasn't high enough for what I wanted. So I had my guys build a little wall around it for landscaping. We'll fill that in with dirt and rock, level it off. I actually have two of them, one right here and then another one a little bit higher. And once we get that filled in and leveled out with dirt, we'll plant some banana trees in there and some ramon and also some coconuts, and then cover the ground with ivy. It'd just be nicer to look at than an uneven mound of rocks there. And then over here in the trees away from the house, I built a little palapa, which I'm going to use just for storage. That's called a bodega here, just for tools and things to get out of the rain. Plus also if the guys are working, they can have a place to get in and out of the rain. And right next to it, we've started another palapa, and that's going to be for my 10 Melipona bee houses. We're about 2 or 3 days away from that being finished. And then there'll be a driveway there that goes back around to the solar panels. And there's my house again, which has arches across the front of it. A huge front patio, front porch that will look out on all this. And then I've terraced these walls down to 3 different levels. As I said, this will be leveled out with dirt and some nice ivy in it. It'll be real pretty when it's finished. And then there's the place, the back side of where I said we'd plant the dragon fruit post. So there you are. That's what we've done to this place in more or less 95 days. 30-something days on the house. November 27th, there was nothing up there except flat land. So in a month, we've come from the ground up to this point. But all the rest of this peaceful paradise that I'm standing in the midst of has been done with 8 guys and machetes and 1 chainsaw. And if you could be standing here with me right now, you would appreciate the peacefulness of it. There is not a sound except the sound of the wind in the trees and a few different birds singing. Very peaceful.